Alright, guys. It is Monday, December 7th, 2020 at 1:55 p.m. Alright, let's take a look at what we have. Let's take a look first here. Today is December 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy. President Franklin D. Roosevelt famously proclaimed, as it is the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. It says Americans on Monday will honor the 79th anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. So respects to all the veterans out there who lived through this, and in memory of all those people who passed away on that attack. All right. Next, World Food Program Director: 270 million people now marching toward starvation in wake of COVID-19. It says, according to the head of the World Program, WFP, the amount of people around the world now on the brink of starvation has doubled due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting economic effects of government reaction to the virus. Director of the WFP, David Beasley, who previously warned the cure for the COVID-19 pandemic should not be worse than the disease, told the United Nations General Assembly on Friday that 270 million people are now marching towards starvation in wake of the economic effects of the pandemic. It says, as I had warned the United Nations Security Council back in April, that if we're not careful, the cure could be worse than the disease because of the economic ripple effect. If we don't handle economic disruptions, supply chain disruptions, etc., basically told the council, as we predicted back in April, the number of people that were going to be marching toward the brink of starvation has already risen from 80 million to 135 million the last 4 years, primarily because of man-made conflict, the director went on adding, but because of COVID-19 now spiking from 135 million, not going to bed hungry, but literally marching towards starvation, it's closer to 270 million people. So please pray for all these people having to struggle with the lack of food. Please donate if you have extra cans of food to food banks, because they give those to people who wait in lines for food, and it helps out the community. All right. Next, students return to New York City schools once more after virus closure. It's back to school again for some New York City school children weeks after the schools were closed to in-person learning because of rising COVID-19 infections. It says New York City, it is back to school again, yet for thousands of New York City school children who returned to classrooms Monday after a roughly 2 week shutdown spurred by the city's rising coronavirus caseload. Public school doors reopened for preschool students and children in kindergarten through fifth grade, whose parents choose a mix of in-school and remote learning. Miriam Petrovich was among staffers welcoming children back to elementary school on Manhattan Lower East Side. We miss them dearly, Petrovich said, who works as a parent coordinator, told reporters at the United Federation of Teachers Unions Conference. There's no school without children. Special education students in all grades who have particularly complex needs will be welcomed back starting Thursday. Middle and high school will remain all remote, at least until after the holiday break. Alright, guys. And next, hundreds ill, one dead to an unidentified illness in India. At least one person had died, and 200 others have been hospitalized due to an unidentified illness in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. In New Delhi, at least one person has died and 200 others have been hospitalized due to an unidentified illness in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh, reports said Monday. The illness was detected Saturday evening in Eluru, an ancient city famous for its hand-woven products. Since then, patients have experienced symptoms ranging from nausea and anxiety to loss of consciousness, doctors said. A 45-year-old man who was hospitalized with symptoms similar to epilepsy and nausea died Sunday evening, the Press Trust of India news agency reported. Officials are trying to determine the cause of illness. So far, Water samples from impacted areas haven't shown any signs of contamination, and the Chief Minister's office said people not linked to the municipal water supply have also fallen ill. Patients are of different ages and have tested negative for COVID-19 and other viral diseases such as the dengue, chikungunya, or herpes. An expert team deputed by the federal government reached the city to investigate the sudden illness on Monday. State Chief Minister Y.S. John Molan Reedy visited a government hospital and met patients who were ill. Opposition leader N. Shirabaru Naidu demanded on Twitter an imperial, fully fledged inquiry into the incident. Andhra Pradesh state is among those who worst hit by COVID-19, with over 800,000 detected cases. The health system in the state, like the rest of India, has been frayed by the virus. So, heads up, a possible different illness in India. And finally, the UN News says new wave of famine could sweep the globe. Overwhelming nations already weakened by years of conflict, warn UN officials. It says the global hunger crisis caused by conflict and now compounded by COVID-19 is moving into a dangerous phase, the head of the UN World Food Program said on Thursday, stressing that without resources, a wave of famine could sweep the globe, overwhelming nations already weakened by years of instability. And I had already partially covered that in another article earlier in the video. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news. Remember to pray for the people who are lacking food and who are having a tough time because of the economic crisis due to COVID-19. Please pray for each other and watch over your neighbors. Alright guys, see you guys next time. Hit like and subscribe for more news. God bless.